HeartsChat. So today we are going to discuss Black Lives Matter and what we can do on a smaller scale to help, and we're going to talk about how to have a conversation about Black Lives Matter. So before we get into our topic, we wanted just to share what we've been doing to cope with everything that's been going on. So,
Akila, what you been doing?
For me, I've just been watching a lot of funny things. I'm just telling you that just to kind of break away from it, because if you keep into it for too long, you're gonna go insane. So I've been watching older shows like the Bernie Mac show and Saved by the Bell, different things like that are a lot lighter.
yeah.
So I can have the power and the fuel to go back into it.
One thing I've been doing is really trying to stay busy, and it really wasn't intentional until my grandpa texted me and asked me, all this stuff going on, I hope that you're finding ways to cope with everything, and I know it's really hard. And I responded to him and I said, I've been really keeping busy, and that's when it, clicked for me that, I have been doing stuff, just I wasn't exactly aware, but I was doing like busy, keeping myself occupied. I think that's just how I function when things happen that are really sad, because watching the news and everything, I've been crying, watching it's very depressing, and I guess I had to just keep busy and do stuff. I know we washed our cars.
Yep.
That was something. That day, I didn't stop all day. I went into work on Friday, which normally I don't. I got everything I need to get done. I went straight to your house to clean the cars, and then
ripping and running after that.
Yeah, after that I ran all my errands in one day. Then I came home, I was cleaning up. I just did not stop.
I think one of the main things I've been doing is not being on social media as much, because it really is just too much to watch news, doing social media, talk about it with people who we need to talk about it with, things like that, and then there's nothing but that on my page.
Yes.
So it's staying on for that, and then being around the people that I actually get love from and love them. Like the goodness, keeping myself around there still is some good humanity in this world.
Yeah.
So just trying to do that to remind myself of that, and trying to keep in good spirits, having good conversations, not just only about what's going on, but also about other things, just to keep it a little bit lighter, to feel the lightness instead of just being so brought down.
Right. That's good things to do. So if you have any tips or ways that you want to share that you've shared in our comments below, because we would like to hear.
Yes, please.
So there's been a lot of communication and conversations going on about Black Lives Matter, so we thought it would be a good idea to talk about how to have the conversation, because it is a really hard conversation to have, especially with so many different opinions and so many different viewpoints about it. So we just want to talk about the basics, just strictly how to have a conversation about it, and then we'll get on to other points of what we can do, on a smaller scale to help. So one thing that sticks out to me is when I see the conversation happening, I see it on social media. And I really question, is social media the place to have these kind of conversations? Or should it be on the phone, or, in person, or who should be having these conversations? And I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I think for social media, I think it's a starting place, but I don't think it needs to be the end all to be all.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of everyone uses social media, so everyone's always posting, talking, doing all this. But these kinds of things can get misconstrued. So
Exactly.
I think if it starts there, that's one thing, but I think it needs to go either in person or even talk on the phone. Not even text, like talk on the phone.
Right. So I think sometimes, we know when you're using a text message, if it's something heavy, you're like, okay, we shouldn't text about this because it might get misconstrued. I think social media has a lot of the same result.
Took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was about to say. I was about to say that it's a place to start, but we take things differently, and then when you try to resolve it with somebody, you call them out on it, then they're trying to explain it, and by that point you're like, oh my God, you just said this is what you said, but really they might not have meant it that way. They really might have, but they really might not have meant it that way. But at that point, it's lost. And I think that social media is a place to bring recognition, but it is not the place to have conversation.
Yeah,
100%
I think I agree. I think when you're having a conversation, a lot can be interpreted through tone. So when you're reading it, you don't know the tone, especially if you're fired up about something, you read it that way. I think having a conversation on the phone or in person is a lot better than having it on. Because everybody, what's it called? Twitter fingers? When you just go on there, everybody's got that. You can hide behind the screen and say what you want to say. But in person, it's a lot different. So I think that's a start. Talking face to face or on the phone, but actually verbal communication versus just typing things and doing it on social media.
And I think the other thing to add to that is you can use FaceTime and Skype as well. Like
Uh-huh.
sometimes we're not going to be near each other to do that, but that's
like,
still face to face.
Even Facebook Live or Periscope.
That's right, exactly.
So you can really say what you're saying. So if you're going to use social media, if you're going to use these outlets, use it to where you can really say what you mean to say, and people can really take what you're saying and internalize it or throw it out whenever they want to do. But so it's not me, because I know I've read mine and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what this person's actually saying. Like, is this so?
Yeah, and one last thing off of that, you can also say, I'd like to talk with you about this. Schedule a phone conversation and actually talk about it.
Instead of just writing people off.
Right.
That's true.
Sometimes you might be like, this is my last straw. I've already seen your, BS comments or statuses, and you might realize this is not a person to be friends with. But if they've made one of these statuses, something like that, or this type of person that you can have the conversation with, reach out and do it on both ends.
Right.
That's true.
So moving on to what we can do on a smaller scale, on a micro level, what do you think are some things that we can do?
This is simply having conversations, and it doesn't have to be with the world. It doesn't have to be on social media. It doesn't have to be with your family. It could be with, if you work, like we do therapy, so talking about it in there. Bringing recognition to it. It doesn't have to be a very long conversation and drawn out conversation. It just needs to be bringing recognition into your spaces.
I think something that can be done is being kind.
Yes.
Just being kind when you see people and your interactions, every day. A small gesture like that, it goes a long way after a while.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think me listening to both of you, I think those are really good ways of approaching it, because right now there's a lot of hatred.
So much.
So we need to have some kind of balance where there's kindness. People are actually trying to hear each other. Because I think that's most important.
Yeah.
Listening, it goes in one out the other, but it's very important to hear what each other is trying to say.
Yeah, I agree. Especially there's so much tension now.
Yes.
Just really quick, I know I was driving, I was playing They Don't Care About Us, Michael Jackson in the car yesterday. I was like blasting it. And I was thinking, I wonder what the car next to me is thinking. Because it was a white person. I was like, I wonder what they're thinking. I'm like, I just felt like more conscious of myself. Like, then I went to the grocery store. You have to put the quarter in when you go in, like the carts and everything.
Yeah.
And this man was like, he was a white man. He was like, I'll take your cart. And he gave me a quarter. And I was like, oh, no, I don't need the quarter. It's okay. But I don't know, I just felt like some tension. I don't know if it was me because of what I'm thinking or we've been all watching the same stuff. But I was just like, just take it. It's okay. I don't need the quarter. But I'm just like more aware and like sensitive now. I feel like.
And that's something to bring to attention too, is to know that people are going to be more sensitive right now. So to, see that and to take that in and to take that into people's reactions and what people are saying and how it is. I think being respectful is a big thing, and also knowing your limits.
Right.
Yeah.
Knowing your limits of conversation, knowing your limits in situations, knowing them. But I think kindness right now to show that we are humans.
Yeah.
Don't forget that we're all humans, and that is a big part. I think that's one of the reasons why all this is happening, is because for so long, Black individuals have not been considered human, and still to some people.
Right.
I think also to add to what you guys said, is once we are listening and hearing everybody, is to go out and learn, to do research, do, whatever as somebody is saying to you, whoever you're having a conversation with, research it. Not just online. There are things called books in the library. So that's something that I think is important.
Educate yourself.
Yes.
Don't rely on just the media and social media to educate you, because it's what they want you to hear. Just like when we see in other countries, when we're like, they program it to hear what they want to hear so they can keep them in their place. They do that here too.
Right. And I think the final thing is, don't count yourself out. Don't think that there's nothing that you can't do, because you can do small things that is cliche that can make a big difference, but it is true. Just you and your individual interactions with people every day. can be something. And
Yes.
like we talked about, having a conversation with your family and your friends is really important. And I think, Akila, you made a point earlier about who should be having these conversations.
Yes.
Because you made a powerful Facebook message.
Oh, well, thank you. But no, who should be having these conversations? First of all, everyone should be having these conversations, but who should be talking to each other? We all know what's going on. We all know there's tension. It's important for specifically white people to talk to white people about this, because me coming to, well, I won't consider my friends, that's a little different, but me coming to another white person saying all these things that are happening, they may not listen. They may not be able to hear it. They may. There may be hope.
Somewhere.
I'm not counting people out, but more often than not, you're going to hear it better from someone who looks like you or who you may know better. So that's what I'm thinking.
And for being a white person who does talk to white people about this my entire life, and not just black individuals, but all minorities, but really mainly black individuals, really trying to have people understand who are close to me, family, friends, is to not get so frustrated with people, because it could be very hard being on the end of really understanding what's happening in this world and understanding the dynamic of everything, and don't get as frustrated, and know who is going to hear what you have to say, and understand what they're saying too. Allow their voices, whether it's right or wrong in your opinion, to be said, and then, because then you never know what they can get out of it, and eventually it may be just as simple of respecting of places, or even eventually just respecting that black individuals are humans and human beings, whether you want to be around them or not. But that's a progression. That's something.
Right, so if you have any questions or opinions, or you want us to talk about this more, or any other things that you want to hear about, leave us a comment.
Yes.
We really would love to hear from you and have more dialogue about this. So thanks for watching.
Take care of yourself, world.
Yes.
If you are an artist and would like us to play your music, or have a product or brand that you would like us to advertise, or if you have any questions or comments, please email us at HeartsChat@HeartsChatRadioshow.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope at HeartsChat, and our Instagram at HeartsChatRadio. We post a lot of motivational messages up throughout the day, so if you need a little inspiration or pick-me-up, follow our pages. And for more information on HeartsChat, be sure to visit our website, www.heartschatradioshow.com.
We hope you enjoyed our show today. Tune in every Sunday and Tuesday on HeartsChatRadioshow.com for a new episode of HeartsChat. So don't forget to tune in again at HeartsChatRadioshow.com and check us out.
And visit my blog and ask me all of your relationship questions anonymously at FromEricasHeart.com. Thank you for listening to Hearts Chat, where we speak from the heart.
Bye.
Bye-bye.